Hey guys, welcome back to another video of my picks for the 2022 NFL season. But today, in this video, we will go over the recap of week one. Opening night featured two playoff teams last year, Bills and the Rams. The Bills offense continued where it left off last year as Josh Allen and the Stephon Diggs led the Bills to a rout of the Rams in the NFL season opener, 31-10. Sunday, September 11th, featured the first Sunday of the NFL season. Between the first recap we have is Minnesota and Green Bay. This one, Minnesota was all over Green Bay. Justin Jefferson shines as Aaron Rodgers, and the Packers struggle in a loss to Minnesota, 23-7. Another game we had Steelers and the Bengals, divisional play. This game went to overtime as Chris Boswell kicks the game-winning field goal in overtime as Pittsburgh defeats the Pittsburgh defense and Mitchell Trubisky are too much for the Bengals. For a Bengals comeback, Pittsburgh wins 23-20. Next, we have Colts and Texans. See, everyone figured the Colts were going to run away from the Texans just because they had the best running back in the game. But the Texans come out with a 17-point lead. But blow that lead and letting the Colts sending it to overtime, which this one would end in a rare tie at 20-20. Saints versus Falcons, another big divisional matchup. In a game that the Falcons came out flying. They had a big lead, 2-score lead, but in typical Atlanta Falcon fashion, the Falcons blew this late lead in the fourth quarter, and ended up losing this one 27-26. Browns Panthers. It's the Baker Mayfield revenge game. First games against Browns since being traded to the Panthers. Browns were all over Baker Mayfield in the first half, but Baker Mayfield led a comeback, only to lose by a Cade York game-winning field goal that led the Browns to win 26-24. Bears host 49ers. Bears were big underdogs coming into this game. Every expert and everyone said that the 49ers would come into Chicago and blow them out. But in this one, Trey Lance struggled as in the season opener as Justin Fields makes more magic happen and leads the Bears to 19 straight second half points to upset off the 49ers and a slop fest at Soldier Field 19-10. Jaguars and Commanders. This one was a really interesting game featuring two teams that had rough years last year. And Carson Wentz getting signed by the Commanders after leaving the NFC East, going back to the NFC East, facing second-year quarterback Trevor Lawrence. Carson Wentz played really well in this game. Game ended as Jaguars were trying to drive downfield, get a go-ahead touchdown, and Trevor Lawrence just made another really bad decision, rolling left, throwing the ball, 50-50 ball up for grabs on the sideline, and just got intercepted, which ended the game and let the Commanders win their first game in the with the new team name, 28-22. Patriots Dolphins. Man, this is another big division game in the AFC East. This game was a really defensive game. Mac Jones threw a couple interceptions. Patriots defense tried to keep him in it, but the big play was a 4th and 7, 47-yard touchdown pass from Tua Tagovailoa to Jalen Waddle, which really got the Dolphins moving, and their defense flattened the Patriots offense en route to a 20-7 victory in week one. Now I have Lions and Eagles. Now, in the past, the Lions season openers have been really high scoring, but they've always been on the wrong side of it. Unfortunately, this continues this year as the Lions are down. Lions are down by 10 late in the fourth quarter. They score a touchdown, but they can't get any closer as they lose by 3. Jalen Hurts leads his team rushing. Most of the Eagles' touchdown were rushing touchdowns. So, but Detroit did look pretty good. They're gonna upgrade, make improvements, have a better year than last year. But the Eagles win this season opener, 38-35. Ravens Jets. Now the Ravens are trying to get back into the playoffs after missing it last year. The injury bug hit them last year. Lamar Jackson trying to get back in the playoffs. And he had a really slow start against Joe Flacco and the Jets. But as soon as he was able to get rolling, there was no looking back. He threw three touchdown passes. And Jets couldn't really get anything going on offense, and Ravens win this week 1 battle, 24-9. Giants and Titans. Giants are looking for their first opening day win in 6 years, against the Titans, who had a disappointing loss in playoffs last year. And the question is, for this Giants team, is Saquon Barkley back? Can he stay healthy? Well, it was a heck of a start for him this season, as he carried the Giants to a 1-point come from behind win, 21-20 in the late stages. As he had 164 rushing yards on the ground and 30 receiving yards with a touchdown run and a 2-point conversion, which led to the Giants escaping the Music City with their first opening day win in 6 years, 21-20. Chargers Raiders. The Chargers were looking to get their revenge from losing last year in week 18, which knocked them out of the playoffs by the Raiders. But this one was really interesting because you got Justin Herbert and his offense who able to stay in ball games, and then you had Derek Carr, who made the playoffs last year, lost to the Bengals in the first round, and now newly acquired Devontae Adams from the Packers. But also the Chargers added Khalil Mack on defense, which opened up things up for Joey Bosa and the other pass rushers, because you can't have 4 linemen double team those guys and you leave one extra lineman open. So in this one, the Chargers did win behind Justin Herbert throwing 3 touchdown passes and 3 interceptions, three interceptions that Derek Carr threw, and a forced fumble that Khalil Mack had. And the story in this one was the Chargers won the takeaway battle, which led them to their winner of their season opener, 24-19. The Chiefs versus Cardinals. Everyone's been asking, will the Chiefs' offense be as dominated as they were last year without Tyreek Hill, picking up Juju Smith-Schuster? They need that second receiver other than Kelsey and Juju to pick up the slack. They actually need Clyde Edwards-Helaire to do something, and they did that. But Patrick Mahomes answered that question about the offense. He said, "No Hill, no problem," as he threw for 5 touchdown passes en route to a blowout of the Arizona Cardinals in the desert, 44-21. Now, Sunday Night Football, Sunday Night opener, Bucs at Cowboys. With Tom Brady's returning from his brief retirement, every Cowboy fan was asking, is this the night we finally beat Tom Brady? For the first time. Well, Cowboys fans, I don't know if your team will ever beat Tom Brady, In this Sunday night game, the Cowboys defense kept them in it, kept them alive. But their offense couldn't do anything. Their offense only scored 3 points. Cowboys only mustered 3 points in this game. They're the only team this weekend to not score a touchdown. And it's not good when you're going field goal. But in this case, Cowboys went field goal, punt, turnover, punt. And it's after losing this game, you never want to start out 0-1 because it hurts. But it also hurts more for the Cowboys because they've now lost Dak Prescott due to a left hand injury or a right hand injury, a hand injury, which he needs surgery. He will be out for 6 to 8 weeks. So I wouldn't hold your breath, Cowboys fans, for another playoff run. But all right, Monday Night Football, the Week 1 finale, Broncos versus Seahawks. The return of Russell Wilson to Seattle didn't go as planned for him, as in the Week 1 finale. Basically, all the scoring came in the first half, as Seattle took the lead in halftime, 17-13. In the second half, there were 3 fumbles lost, including 2 Bronco fumbles inside the Seahawks 5-yard line, with an impressive defensive second half by the Seattle Seahawks, only letting up 3 points, and a really questionable decision by first-year Bronco head coach Nathaniel Hackett, and trying to kick a go-ahead 64-yard field goal that went wide left, helped the Seahawks hang on and win their first game of the season, 17-16. But my picks this week, for this Week 1, I finished 10-5-1 because the Colts game in the tie. That's where the 1 comes in. I don't think I did too bad, especially for it being a crazy Week 1. But just be ready to have some fun in Week 2 and the rest of the season. Thanks, guys.